Hello. Making another vlog video, and today I want to talk about my project matches. Yes, I love it. Awesome. I want to talk about my project. I A little while ago I opened up a GoFundMe page because I'm a little embarrassed about this too, but I decided to do it. I've been thinking about this for a long time. First, I wanted to do this, create that for someone else. My husband talked me out of it. He said, don't do that for someone else. What if other people cause you legal problems or something? So I had to take it off, and so I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a page for my own cause, and then within that own cause I can help these other people as well along the path. So, and organizations and all the animal rescuers and helpers and so on. So we're going to be giving donations from that fund as well. So that fund is going to be a universal thing, so that is for educational purposes, to educate people on how to heal themselves, and so that they can be healthy and happy, and they don't have to go under the knife, and they can rejuvenate themselves with natural means. And I want to do meditation. I want to offer meditation, and I want to offer the meditation and the classes for free as a means to help everybody. And what I really want to do is, this is my main goal here, this is like the center point of this goal, is I want to buy a hot spring resort that is out there in the middle of the desert, and it costs about $3.5 million. I don't have the cash. I wish I had. I would buy it right away, but I don't, and that's why I'm raising a fund for that, because it will be an amazing project. It will offer everything, everything you can possibly imagine. It will offer. And they have, I don't know how many rooms they have. It's a hotel also, and it is a running business, and I would probably gonna make slight adjustments to it, and I would outlaw any kind of nicotine on that property, any kind of alcohol, any kind of glass bottles. So any kind of substance that is bad for people, I would not even have any kind of like bad candy or any kind of stuff that is just not good. So, and also avoid gums on that property, and just make it totally natural, completely natural. And I feel awkward talking about this because I know what people think. They think, oh, you just want to take the easy route, Yeah, that's what they're thinking. So I figure, since they have this website, I've always been against e-begging, particularly on Facebook and YouTube, or for people to, I don't know, for people to be in someone else's face with stuff like that, or to proselytize something. But I mean, it's okay for people to advertise for their products on. They have a specific film, a documentation film to advertise their products in a lovely way. You know, that's if it's lovely, it's good. I like commercials that are lovely. You know, so but I don't like commercials forced into someone else's video. That I don't like. So and but I didn't like it when people would do e-bagging in the middle of among their videos. So they would have videos of e-bagging and they would telling their story, and they want people to feel sorry for them and stuff like this. You know, I'm, I mean, it's okay. I'm not gonna judge them or anything, but I just personally don't find that very productive. Let's put it that way. So that's not productive. But that GoFundMe page itself, and I don't ask anyone to give me money. I know most of us are kind of struggling, and so why would you give that? You know, I just wanted to talk about it because it is. I'm very passionate about it. Very, very passionate about it, and I just have this option there that if there's anyone out there, any one of you that has a lot of cash, yeah, you're welcome to help out with that cause, that educational cause. Yeah, I feel awkward about it. That's why I snicker, but I have every right in the world to do it because I have been wanting to do this for 20 years, and I have absolutely had no idea how to ever get to this, to fulfill this dream, this goal, so that we can educate people better, that we can create something, some kind of wave, and something, we offer something that is of utmost value for everybody's system, biological system, body and cells and everything. And all that knowledge that I have gathered over a course of, I don't know, 30 years, you know, being my own guinea pig, having gone through stuff, you know, having been the pharmaceutical people's guinea pig. And so animal testing needs to be outlawed. Test on yourselves, okay, like I have done. So, and it's really awful to find out later on that all these drugs that I used to be taking for depression and stuff, and for OCD and all of this, you know, all these things have been tested on animals, and it makes me absolutely cringe, you know, in horror and grief. Every night I go to bed, I think about this. Horrific. But thank goodness I quit all of this in 2003. Thank goodness I quit it. The blue God came in my life, and he reached into my brain, and he said, it is enough suffering now. I think during that time I had already quit. I had quit the pharma drugs the second time, because the first time I got scared, turned around, went back to it, because I didn't know how to deal with the withdrawal symptoms. No one told me, by the way. No psychiatrist told me about these horrific withdrawal symptoms. It's like all of the symptoms and more symptoms and worse symptoms and everything, physical and mental, like escalated by hundreds of times. That's what happens when someone gets off the pharmaceuticals cold turkey. That's what I did twice. So the second time, I already knew what was coming, and I decided I'm gonna tough that out. And I did. I did. It was not fun. Okay? It was absolutely excruciating. But we did it. We made it through this. Went hiking. I did Dr. Scholl's, Dr. Richard Scholl's. I followed his program. I bought his herbs, his tea, his detox tea. I did what he said. I got his book, fantastic book, 20 Steps to Holistic Healing. I think that's the title. So I always get that a bit mixed up. But it's on his website, herbdoc.com, herb.doc, D-O-C, herbdoc, herbdoc.com. That's his website. And his name is Dr. Richard Scholl's, and he's been in the holistic healing for 50 years or something like this. And he is a mega health expert. I would say he is the best in the world, okay? And he also learned from the best people. He learned from unbelievable people, from 3 amazing people, world leaders in holistic healing during the last century. So Dr. Bernard Jensen is one, and Dr. Ariola from Italy, and another one, forgot the name now, but they were the 3 absolute leaders in holistic healing. And of course, you know, around 1920, 1930, 1940, almost nobody was into it. So now that we have seen the results of what happens to people because of agricultural poisons, like all these pesticides, Roundup, glyphosate, which is against the law in Europe, by the way, for a reason, because it causes the C word in animals and people. We have to stay away from pesticides altogether. There are natural means, and I have all of this information now. I have written many blogs about it. I have written an entire book now, a real systematic, organized, chapter organized book on natural healing. It has the focus of rejuvenation, because the body can actually has so much power and so much intelligence that's in a body, in an animal body, okay, that we can heal anything. We can reverse aging, not through pharmaceuticals again, okay, not through their inventions and patented stuff that costs $1 million per pill. No, the earth is offering us these things. The pharmaceutical people don't want to hear about this. They don't want to hear about it. I offered this one girl my book, and I said, look, I'm working on something similar as you are. Why don't you just read it and check it out? I never heard from her again, because, and I'm not going to mention any names, I'm not going to debunk anyone out there, because it's their business, it's their path. And you, the customer, have the ultimate saying over which path you are choosing, the pharmaceutical path or the natural path. The path where we take our power back into our own hands, okay? And where we go out in nature and where we listen to this planet, what this planet offers us, the abundance of the infinite richness and abundance and wealth that this planet offers to you. Go out and find it. It's right there. It's right there at starts right there at the door to our house. You get out of your house, there's a tree, there's a shrub, there is a rose bush. Right there it starts with the abundance. You go further out into nature, more abundance and more abundance and more abundance. Hot springs, sulfur water, clays, clays, clays of epic proportions. Okay. I have to say the clays. The clay. When I started on the clays, and I don't know, how did I get into clays? I just intuition, and I already heard about some clays when I was back in Germany, that there are some healing, people were using some healing clays. And so I got into it, and I came across all these treasures like diatomaceous earth, the ultimate treasure for hair, skin, nails, internal health, anti-parasitic, for animals and people, safe, doesn't have side effects, has only good side effects. It can be used as a mite remover in the rug. I mean, ant remover that's safe for all pet animals and anyone, any being who walks on it. So it only dries out small insects. That's all it does. Because it's made up out of fossilized, petrified, tiny sea plankton. Okay. That is ancient. That is prehistoric. And this sea plankton comes in different shapes. And some of these shapes they're kind of like knives. If you look at it under an electron microscope, you can see it. And that cuts into the exoskeleton of very small insects, and it leaks out the fluids, and they dry out, and so then they don't function, they don't move anymore. So they're, I don't like the D word, but that's what happens. So they are no longer no longer active. And you can vacuum them up, and they don't do anything, they don't cause any more irritation and stuff like this. And it is perfect also, you know, if you don't want ants in the house coming at dog food. So you sprinkle that, and the other ants will remember that. And ants actually carry information. I don't know how they do it, but they carry information to the group, and they stop coming if you have diatomaceous earth on the rock. Doesn't even require very much. So just don't breathe it in. I mean, it's not that bad, but I wouldn't breathe it in, as I wouldn't breathe in any kind of dust, any kind of rock dust or stardust. So, because then our lungs have to work overtime to flush that all out. But yeah, detoxification, you know, I read about all of these things, and Dr. Scholl's offers, you know, besides his own products, which are really among the absolute best, if not the best in the world, but they're kind of expensive because they are very, very, very pure. So, and I'm not sponsored by him, I'm just infinitely grateful to him, because he helped me so much, you know, it saved my life. And it was because of Dr. Scholl's that I was really encouraged to make it through this, you know, holistic healing, and never give up on it. Never say, oh, should I just go back to the old ways? No. So Dr. Scholl's really helped me with this. I found out about Dr. Scholl's I first heard about him from someone at the Primal Center but I forgot about it, and I kind of didn't remember the name, and I just thought, cool, he helped this one guy, but I don't know, he didn't really get into it, or I wasn't listening at that time because I was on my farmer and I was eating junk and I didn't want to change my ways or something like this. So I wasn't ready yet. So then later when I went on my holistic healing journey on my own accord because I knew I had to, I went to a massage therapist in LA, and a French girl, really good massage therapist. And she told me about Dr. Schultz. She said that he helped her get off all the pharma for depression and stuff. And so that I should check that out. And I was so grateful to her because I went to Dr. Schultz, and his botanical pharmacy was basically right around the corner from where we were living. So, and then I got my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, my boyfriend Paul. I got him into it as well. No, we were already married at that time. Yes, we were. Yes, we got married in 2001. So, long time ago. So I got him into it as well, which is really, really good. Fantastic. And we immediately loved that detox tea that he has. And the whole room, he has a really large store now in Marina del Rey. And if you go in there, the whole room smells like that detox tea, and it is delicious, absolutely delicious and amazing. Amazing. That detox tea is amazing. Really, really great, and particularly the way he brews that, and very fresh and amazing. So I still buy that sometimes. But, you know, he wrote this book and he offers all this information. He also writes newsletters and he offers a lot of information to people to take with them, and they don't even necessarily have to buy his products. You know, there are so many things that you can make yourself, you know, and I want to offer that to people so that we have tools to use to heal ourselves. And so it's my ultimate dream to have a facility like this where people are really, where they're pampered and where they're engulfed in love and warmth and hot springs and nature, natural nurture, and where they can come to the classes without the stress, without the ADHD, because ADHD is really when the brain is under too much stress and too much worries, too many worries, too much thinking about, you know, what are they gonna think, how am I gonna dress then, how am I gonna make this business deal, all of these things, this mind chatter, so that they can put this to rest, all of this, and come to the classes and to the meditation sessions that I will offer. Come to this with a tabula rasa, with a blank mind, without stress, without worries, without, oh, what if that doesn't tie into your religion? Forget all of, let this all go to rest, and just open yourself up to it, listen to it, and put it to the test for yourself. Test it. If it doesn't work, maybe it doesn't work. Then maybe you're not ready, or you don't want to do it, or you can't do it, whatever, you know. I believe everyone can do it, and everyone is going to benefit from it. But people have to test that for themselves, you know? And then if they don't like it, they can go back to their old ways, you know. any time. It's just that leave your prejudgment and all of your the stuff that has been conditioned into you. Leave it outside that center. Come in with a blank slate mind. Take the information in and put it to the test. Really explore it. Explore these meditations and see what comes out of it. Sometimes there can be childhood pain coming out. That's good. That is making progress in the right direction. A lot of people will then run and say, this is too scary, I'm going to go back to my old ways. Or they will blame the clay for it. That happens a lot. Donna Pessin talked about this. People always blame the very thing that is detoxing them and that pulls up memories and old Halloween candy out of your guts. So, but that's what we need to do. We need to pull all of this out of our system so that we can free our cells so that they can recover. The cells can recover for the first time. That's rejuvenation from scratch, from inside out. So that is my goal, to offer that to the world. Can you imagine what a paradise we can create there? And I can have amazing people work with me on that. And I don't know how to do it, but maybe we can even make this into a non-profit organization. The possibilities are out there. But I definitely want to offer the meditation classes, yoga, and any kind of educational class, including food making classes with food and everything for free, because people need it. They desperately need it. So that people from the local community can come and join this, and the guests that stay at that resort can join us anytime they want to. So they can come late if they had been in the hot springs. They don't have to apologize for it. Just come in, quietly sit down, you can leave anytime or go to the bathroom, no restrictions, so they don't feel like, oh, I'm late, now I have to pay for this, or I miss out on the class. No, you don't miss out. You can come anytime, you listen, and use that what you learn for your life. And it will be an ongoing thing, and that is what I want to do. Have this facility for educational purposes to help people make their lives healthy, take charge of their lives again, take their health into their own hands again, or for the first time, and see how amazing that is, and how empowering that is, and how creative that is. That is absolutely fantastic to do this. So that is my ultimate dream, my ultimate goal. I don't know if we're gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna get the chance to do it, but gotta start somewhere. And so I thought GoFundMe is a great way to set something like this up, a fundraiser for that, and see what happens. Maybe nothing happens. That's okay too. But it can't hurt to try. The world is ready for this also, and The world is in desperate need for it. And another thing I want to do is I want to, in that center, I want to offer therapy. I want to offer a therapy. I will call it, for legal purposes, I will call it, probably call it something like meditation, or maybe psychic readings, or healing, or crystal healing, something like this, because I don't have a certificate from the center. I studied it under Arthur Janov for 3 years while he was still there, and I was really lucky that we were all really lucky to get to see Art Janov himself in person and be able to study with him and have him give us classes and lectures, like I think 3 classes per week. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That was the first time in my life when I felt, okay, now this makes sense. Okay, before I was at the University TU Berlin in the field of psychology, and I was crying every day in the restrooms, and it was cold physically and emotionally, and I got no support from anyone. The professors themselves were sexually repressed, full of fear and full of doubt, and no trust in anyone else. And I don't blame them, you know. We grew up in horrible times, but those professors, particularly at that time, they born in 1920 or 1930, yeah. So they had it even rougher than we had it. So, you know, as society itself gradually liberates itself from the bondages of patriotic oppression and religion and sexual oppression and all of these things, you know, the next generations have it a whole lot better within that Western society, of course. You know. There are other societies out there that are still where Europe was 300 years ago. So gradually they too want to heal. That's what the internet is good for, to bring that liberation to everyone and to every niche and cranny and enclave that is out there on this planet. That is what it's good for. And YouTube as the number one outlet facilitator to bring liberation, mental liberation to the whole world. And I want to participate in this as good as I can and offer mental liberation in my videos, in my comments on Facebook and YouTube. I want to create a Google Hangout conversation with people, have been for a long time, but people are afraid. People are afraid that they might not say the right thing, then they're going to be judged. That's exactly what I want to eliminate. I want to eliminate any kind of judgment and any kind of tense situation where people feel like they have to function now, or they have to perform, or they're going to be looked down on, or they feel embarrassed. So that's what I want to avoid, because I know how that feels. I've been through this myself in schools. That's why I had to quit psychology, because I ran away from every presentation that I had to give. I came at the end of the hour. Yes, I did some written work here. I don't want it, said the professor. grumpy that I didn't come at the beginning of the hour and give that presentation. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I just can't. People sitting there was already with this tense look on their faces, you know, with this like a predator, you know, like a predator in the brush, sort of, you know, looking at me, looking at every nuance, at every facial grimace I make, and then they're gonna so yeah. And I was afraid of myself. I didn't know what my body was gonna do while I'm giving that presentation. Yeah. Very gradually, so gradually as it gets, have I pulled myself halfway out of that. And it's just halfway out. I'm not a slick Conan O'Brien or Oprah Winfrey or Scarlett Johansson or any of these slick, smooth speakers, you know, that go out there into public and that feel like that is their nature. You know, it's like they talk to a huge audience, like they talk to one person. So like it's nothing. Like it's, I mean, it's not a biggie. It's not an issue. So yeah, some people grew up into this, so that makes it easier. I grew up with very critical parents, critical society. Everything was nitpicked, maybe not even in words, but with paralanguage. Parents that don't see you, you know, all of this contributes to that insecurity. But we can, of course we can free ourselves. I have done it, I'm halfway through, you can do it too. And I will continue to do it. I continue to work on this for the rest of my life, because I'm not only doing this in order to one day give a presentation somewhere. I might never be, I don't know. In that retreat center, I don't even know if I can do this in the beginning of it, if I ever get to start it. I might in the beginning of it just have a huge monitor and just run my YouTube videos on it, and might even make a whole video, an introduction, that in which I apologize to the clients out there that I am not able yet to do this in person. But maybe I will be able to do it in person. That will be even better, because then we can have a real interactive session. And I don't even know if I can do this on a Google Hangout. I've been so generously offering my psychology on this, and then when it comes down to it, I don't even know if I can do it. I don't even know, once we have like 5 people to participate in this metaphysics discussion for Google Hangout session, and agreed on the time, one person in Pakistan, and one person in Germany, and one person in France, and one person in Dubai, and one person in South America, and one person in the United States. It's going to be very difficult already. Yeah, that alone is an obstacle. But once we have figured all of this out and gotten the appointment and everything, then I don't know if I can do it. I might be like, I don't know. So, but, you know, I might be shaking, you know. I used to play the violin and in 2 school orchestras in the past. And that was very, very traumatic. Because when I was a teenager, first I didn't think about this. You know, we played, and it was like, yeah, you play, and here you play the third violin. You sit in the back row there. But wait a minute, at some point it dawned on me, I don't know how old I was, like, I think I was 13. Suddenly it dawned on me, oh my goodness, this entire auditorium is filled with people. And we're supposed to play Mozart now? And I started shaking. My body started shaking. I started to be afraid. Then I started to be afraid of my own fear, what that might do, how much I was going to start to shake, and where people will notice this, and where I'm going to be disruptive to the entire symphony. So I started shaking, and it was really awful, and I was real tense. And then the next time I had my violin, I talked to a violin teacher before that concert, and I said, I'm so afraid, what am I gonna do? I'm shaking. And she said, just lay your hands on your thighs. It didn't do anything, it just made it worse. These people, they didn't know how to deal with any of these things. Never got into it, never. I mean, and that's still like vastly today the same thing. You know, most people, when it comes to psychology, I can list 3 people, and one of them has already died, who really know how to dive into that nitty-gritty that is behind that trembling, behind that fear. Teal Swan, Dr. Arthur Janov, who has died, and Esther Odermatt in St. Gallen. She has taken on that legacy of Dr. Arthur Janov. I don't know who else has done it. I have contacted people. Carla Tartaglia and Esther Odermatt were the only ones who wrote me back and told me how they're doing. The other people want nothing to do with me. We were all so messed up at that time. They, of course, they think of me as, you know, I'm still gonna be a total nutcase, and I don't know what's going on. And crazy, and whatever they think of me, you know, dangerous, dangerous psychologically. So no, I'm not anymore. So I have really done a lot of work. Oh my gosh, halfway through, you know, still not finished, but at least I'm to the point now where I have my faculties back under my control. Or not in control, as to use that word, not in control, but, you know, I use this for only for language purposes, to clarify things, but to have it in my hands, to have it, to know, to see the whole picture of it, of my own inner activities that are going on, to see the truth of everything, to see where my fears are coming from, then I can deal with it better. Knowing that I can turn the video off is very helpful too. So I don't know if I can do a live hangout. I would love to get to that point. I would love to. So maybe sometimes we need to stretch ourselves a little bit, get out of our comfort zone. So all of us, you know, all of these people that initially said, yeah, I'm gonna participate, and then I never heard from them again. The day came of that. You know, I was nervous, but no one else except me showed up. So I don't know Maybe other people are even more afraid than I am, so I don't know. But I'm afraid too. But you know what the beauty of that is? It doesn't have to be live. Okay, we can upload that to YouTube later. We don't even have to upload it at all if people feel uncomfortable with it. So we have control over that. Yeah. And the most beautiful thing is when we have a group setting like this and we talk, we can talk about our fears. If you if anything comes up, if you, whatever it is, jealousy or anger or hurt or feeling wronged or the ego is bruised or they feel puny or all of these things, I have felt all of these things. And it keeps coming up too, but now it dives deeper into it. Last night, I had a dream. Oh my gosh. I had a jealousy dream. That was pretty intense. That was very intense. The way that felt, you know. Me getting older, and then I was with a couple, a young couple. They were like, I don't know, 28 or something. And the woman was so gorgeous. And in that dream, I said to her, because she felt kind of uncomfortable,